4 ways coronavirus will change your life forever. Equality, historian Walter Scheidel once wrote, was only ever brought forth in sorrow. At this moment, COVID-19 is sweeping through the world and the global economy appears to be collapsing. This, without question, is one of those times of sorrow, a period when our lives are upended and filled with uncertainty. This is going to be a difficult time, but it's also going to spark some incredible changes. 1. Working from home. Today, working from home is a necessity. There are no hard statistics on how many people are working remotely around the world. But the company Cisco has said that, in China, their video conferencing software has been seeing 22 times as much traffic as it did before the outbreak. The world is engaged in a global work-from-home experiment, and we're going to see firsthand just how sustainable it is. If employers see the results firsthand for themselves, there's going to be no denying that letting people continue working from home after the pandemic is over isn't going to send them out of business. And that could be incredible for our life satisfaction. The average commute to work has increased by 20 minutes over the past decade. And experts say that those 20 minutes affect job satisfaction as much as a 19% cut in pay. 2. Universal basic income. The United Kingdom has committed to paying 80% of its workers' salaries, while Denmark has offered to pay upward to 90%. And even the United States is planning on sending a $1,200 check to almost every adult American. None of these plans are exactly the same as universal basic income, but they're close. They're going to effectively be dry test runs on how these policies really affect society. It's too early to say what the result is going to be. Finland tried universal basic income in 2017 and 2018 and concluded that it left people happy but jobless. Which might be what we find in the rest of the world, as well. But one way or another, these debates are going to be a lot less theoretical when the pandemic is over. 3. Free and universal health care. There are only a handful of countries that don't have universal health care today. But this could be the moment that pushes the rest of the world into free health care. 41% of Americans already say that they are more likely to support universal health care in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. The US has already pledged to let people get tested for the coronavirus free of charge. And some politicians are pushing to make treatment free, as well. 4. Online learning. Schools are shutting down in nearly every country that's seen an outbreak of COVID-19. And that's pushing parents and teachers into a whole new era of education. For the next few months, online learning is going to be the norm. No matter how tech-savvy your teacher is, they're going to have to learn how to make education digital. Based on early reactions, it's unlikely that we'll see widespread adoption of online education when this is over. Feedback from teachers, so far, has been almost universally negative. The major problem is that children whose parents don't have time to push them on their education fall further behind. While those who can't afford internet access are almost completely excluded. Still, every teacher in the world is getting a crash course in 21st century learning. They're guaranteed to come back with ideas that'll transform how our kids learn. A lot of parents are turning to homeschooling. And since homeschooled kids typically score higher on standardized tests than kids in public schools, there's a good chance that a lot of those parents will decide to stick with it.